Good evening, sir. Hello. So I cannot hear you.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Very good evening. But I don't know, like, Zoom suddenly is giving some issue, like, it's giving some like problems while connecting. Okay, anyway. So you can see I have added in detail. Have you downloaded successfully got actually XYZ?
Yes, sir. I did that.
Oh, so this is what I have used that only and added all these details. So in layer only, I'll show you the entire process. Everything is separate layer. The volume that should be there. Volume is fine. Okay. So before adding, like now, I'm going to add. I've just added one more layer. Recorder is on. So my this is like something before you can add all these basic detail, all these things that you have added some undulation here and there, made it little rough, right? Some few places and added some things, all things. Not finished, but yeah, like I have added few things here and there. So finish everything. After that,
So,
subset detail. So before starting with subset detail, and that is something we're going to use. Um, all the alphas or displacement that we have downloaded, we're going to use that. So before that, before like in this condition, go to there's an option which is was target, and I have like previously have stored once. I'll delete that, and by default it will look like this. So make sure there's no success information, no detail, nothing. This is the like base structure. In that, click on store. And basically, what it does, it basically stores this condition of the entire model. Stores, and
okay.
then you can draw anything on that. And if you want to remove that, like eraser, like suppose you want to erase something, then you can simply go to MOSFET. There's a brush called mod, and you can
Okay.
just simply mod it. I'll show you the basic function of this. Then I'll start the motion. Recorder is on, and let's see. Zoom. Let's okay. I did something right.
Okay.
I just modified something, anything. It can be any detail, anything. I just modified something, but I want to go back to my actual position. But suppose in this layer I have some correct parts, some errors or something I have to remove. That time it works perfectly. And in this case, I can just simply delete this and recreate this. But if you have this mock as saved, I can use that brush. It will go back to the stored version automatically
Okay.
without doing anything. So by this, you can always store like right now, you stored this shape, this entire form. Now you can always do anything and always revert it back. Like suppose in this layer, standard graph rectangle, and this is just for example. I'll do the actual thing later.
Okay.
Hmm. Suppose I added some lines, something, some patches or something, anything I added, and suppose these things I want, and then I created few lines or some mm, there. Oh, sorry, my bad. I created some lines here. or maybe something here, right? But in suppose now I don't want this section. So in this case, switching of this layer won't work. It will remove the entire thing or keep entire thing, right?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, I can go to mouse brush and wherever I click, it will revert that section to their original form. So I can keep this section and simply remove this thing, or I can keep this thing and remove this one. So this is something like very useful when you start adding detail, like fine details and all those sculpting, like all those likeliness and all those things. That time it is very important and very crucial to use this thing so that we can store one form and then we can start modifying things, start adding things, removing things. It becomes quite easy and handy for us. So let's delete this one. I'll recreate a new layer. A new layer. And now I'm going to use my alpha. So I need to connect my hard disk. Just give me a moment. My hard disk, portable hard disk. All the alphas are in portable hard disk. So I'm still connected. Yeah, connected. So in this particular set, I'm using surface limit. No, I'm using a texturing explosion. Texturing explosion. In this, because this golem skin is a bit old, he's like 100 years old or something. So I'm going to use male 40, like 40 years old male. And in this explosion, if you have downloaded, you might have seen, they have this image for all the position, like relative number. Like one is for the upside of your this thing, this forehead, the center part, the under eye, the upper lips, lower lips, jaw, cheek, and everything. Right? So
Yes,
with
sir.
this, you can identify all the areas very easily, and then you select the respective number. Let's start with one. So, uh, like for one and all, like this, for sides, I can use symmetry, but make sure for center, never use symmetry because we'll be also like seeing our character from the front, so it will be like quite evident like it's symmetrical. So make sure it from center it's not symmetrical at all. X, then symmetry, and then you can just simply click and drag. But if you pay really close attention, this side, just check this side. Huh? You can see there's a volume change.
Yes,
It's
sir.
basically adding a bump. So I don't want that bump because these are basically a displacement map, not alpha map. So if you
Okay.
use this, it will create this thing. But to use this as the alpha, there's a function in alpha. Go to modify, and there's the option called surface detail mode. Just click on this, and now all the alpha will act as a surface detail mode. So it won't add any volume. It will add surface variation. So now I can add. You can see surface remains the same, and I can add all these details very easily. I can make it really big, small. That's okay to me. So let's start adding. Oh, sorry, one more thing. These alphas are meant to drag upwards. Don't worry, you can see the center part is bit intense and rest are a bit blurry. That's
Brilliant.
totally fine. That's totally fine. No need to worry. That is something we can control later. Only thing you have to keep in mind the direction of these lines.
Yes, sir.
You see, it's a straight line. Direction of these lines I have to keep in mind. It should align. That's the only thing. Then import number two. So now you see it's going this direction, so it's correct. And in between all those things, what I can do, I can drag the same alpha and blend in. And this is like way too intense, way too strong. That is something we can control with the help of layer opacity. That is we can do very easily. Now we have the center, switch off the symmetry, import number 4. Then for this section number 3, so here directions are straight, only horizontal, vertical line. So like this, I can add, and no need to worry about those like gaps. That is something we have a noise layer. With that, it will automatically blend, and we will to reduce the intensity of this, so it will blend very nicely. Then import number 7. 7 is basically under I, right? Pretty strong. Let's see. So it's not correct. So starting from the side. So you can see it's very strong. That is something fine. We have stored this form and we have this layer. So it will, oh, my bad. Symmetry. Now we can start working on symmetry once again. It basically adds all these fine details, and you can see surface mode is on, so there's no need to change it again and again. You can do it just once and then start adding. Then number 8 is basically for this section. You see this line matches very easily. Then we have number 11 for the under this section. You can see direction automatically matches. That is something you have to keep in mind. Number 10, this section. Then we have number 9 for this section. And there's a gap, so I can just simply drag it and fill it. And this is really too intense, no need to worry. And now I can fill all those gaps because this part is kind of generic. Then this area and this mouth area. So mouth area, we have alpha for this section as well. Number 13. And make sure to check your symmetry again. Anything near to eyes, mouth, nose, you have to make sure like this at least center part where we focus basically. Those touches are not are symmetrical. Then number 14. I'm just checking with the like a reference, referring that photo. Then number 16. So you can see like it become once your basic structure is ready, detailing is not a big deal. That is something we can do very easily because nowadays there are so many options, so many third-party tools, softwares, and alphas, plugins are there. So we can add these kind of detail within no time. Only we just have to keep focus and use the correct alpha at correct place. See, then 17. Then I have AC, and then sorry, switch on my extremity and drag it and fill the gap. You see, if the mix is on, it creates a butterfly effect. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So basic structure wise, you can see my basic structure is almost everything is ready. And what I can do, I can just add a little bit noise here, like all the left out areas.
Symmetry is not on.
And then for nodes, there's a separate alpha number 25. It's like it's way too bumpy. So let it be like this. And now recorded is on. Now I'll go back to my mouse brush and reduce the intensity, make it quite low. Like eyelid, this inside area should be flat. This top area is almost flat. So this is slightly three to like low. Or we can use this in symmetry. And now I'm using more. So it's basically I'm using less intensity. So it's basically blending my base and this detail half
Okay.
half. And I'll start adding this reducing it. Like detailing doesn't mean like it should look like concrete. It should look like skin. Nose are usually kind of flat. Like nothing is flat. Like kind of flat, very subtle detailing. I can move it out. Doing this nicely. Now you see, a very subtle information. Either I can do this or I can undo this also. Yes, undo. It's really there's one more way. Okay, undo. 2 minutes stroke. Okay. So there's one more way is switch off this recording and reduce intensity to point 0.5, zero point 0.3, zero
Okay.
point 0.4. You can see it reduces the entire intensity, reduces the entire intensity. So most of the place, so most of the area, it kind of fits zero point 0.5 or maybe zero point 0.4. Now keep it subtle so it fits. So if I zoom out now, so there are only few areas I have to fix. Like there is little bit the center, this under eye, those things only have to fix. Rest everything looks fine. So for that, now I can switch on symmetry one more time, recorder one more time, but it will give you show you the preview of 100% always and intensity. Reduce it. Make it bit subtle. Eye area should be flat. So just move the intensity. Maximum. Make it blurred and these area. Cut. Then switch off again and you see it blends. Like it reduces the effort. So you can follow any one of them. Like either you want to manually control everything or you can just control it with the help of layer. Both will give you exact same result. So as of now, my most of the head is symmetrical. So now what I'll have to do is like basic like this. I'll add details everywhere, entire body with the same alphas and all. Entire
Okay.
body I'll add. Then this is not the final thing. Like after even after adding these details, your skin detailing is not over yet. Reason is skin have a lot of deformation, lot of detail. That is something we need to create. So for this, I have to create one more layer this time. And if I want, I can switch off this one and the new one. You can keep that. Why there is okay, this one and now pores. Pores are very important, so I have to create those pores because nose and cheek pores are quite prominent, and with age, those are quite prominently visible. So I have to make sure it's quite clearly visible. So for that, I'm using such a thing. There is a for a specific pore, hand, or it's kind of some pore, or maybe something like this. So basically, hand, back hand here, something. This one, any one of them. Select this. So it's a symmetry for cheeks and all. I can use symmetry to create those pores. And pores are something with age, it basically increases in size. Basically, skin become loose and pore size become big. Symmetry for nose, make sure symmetry is off.
Okay.
Sorry, this part, like these pores are not visible here. And then one more area, forehead. This area also, pores are quite strong, and with age it becomes bit bigger because just like with age everything like loosens up and things uh, become like this. And this is also you can see I'm using a separate layer so that I have like more control over it. I can always go back and modify it. Then one more area, upper lip, this area. And for this area, I press Alt in inverted direction. Like this pores are not inside; they're outside. This is like kind of a common feature in most of the humans. If you check very closely, if even if your own near to your own eyes, you can see this kind of lump. Okay. Now I have added all these pores, and this is I'm pretty happy with this. Switch off the recording, and this is at the point 4. So I'll select that, make it point 3, reduce it slightly so that my pores become a bit prominent and this nice clean pore. Or if I want to modify, I can go to. I still have this stored thing. I can still I can go and fix it very easily. Point 3, bit point 5. Point 5 is fine, but only thing I feel this area it becomes way too much of messy. So I'll switch off this, go back to this layer, switch on recording, and I'll pick my either mouse brush or I can use a soft brush also, but I'll select the mouse brush and reduce it. Maybe also just to enhance my pose. Not too much. Okay. Now I can go switch it off, switch on this one. So I have this detail and plus this pose. So basically, you have to walk around this thing and find the like perfect balance between these two, so that this pores also visible and plus this basic skin surface detail is also visible. Those two things you have to keep in mind. Then I can just simply switch on my skin detail and this one. Oh, this skin detail is basically what I created previously. Okay, this one, and what is it? This thumb. Then after that, I have added this lines in a separate layer. So I can do that. Right? So that's not a problem. So like this, we have to add detail everywhere. Like you can see after adding this thin detail also, I've added this layer. That is like again another layer where you add all those moles or maybe some pimple or some skin surface like not uniform or some other things. Those things will add in this layer. So everything like same like Photoshop, everything is a separate layer.
Okay.
Everything in separate layer, and then let's we can move it up. You can move up. Let's do later. So I added this layer and added all those basic detail. Like you can see these two are not symmetrical. I did it manually. Like because now after basic detailing, now it's time for this thing break the symmetry because character is in the reference. Okay, so let's go to second today. So if you closely check, these two are not symmetrical. Like overall shape, you can see not symmetrical. So a human like face, any creature usually it's not symmetrical. So once you add all these details, then so let's have these two and this one. I can move it down, 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 and now I can work on this one. BDS Dan standard. Now I'll add all those fine lines, some wrinkles, switch of symmetry. Now this is the time for adding all the fine details. Oh, sorry for confusion. Record. You can clearly see the difference, both the sides. Now it's time to refine shapes and make it nice and clean and crisp. Let's lip details. We haven't added any details here. So that also we can add now. Though I need to fix the shape of the lip. That's why I was waiting for it. I'll do it later after posing. because while posing, this expression will change entirely. Fine detail, really crisp and sharp. In similar manner, I'll add all the details to entire body. Like for, let's say you can see hands and all. For this, I need symmetry. Yeah, symmetry is on, and let's go back to standard and import. So, and this is something you can do it with the help of this thing, mouse also. Like no need to, there's no need of Wacom tablet. You can do it with the mouse also. So such a thing is finger. Yeah, just see fingers, index, index finger. Here is my index finger. So you can see it creates here problem. Control Z. My bad. Select this section. Invert it. Yes. And it's wrong direction. You can see mail is here. So it's wrong. Now this should work perfectly. Wrong. I'm doing wrong. This okay. To find the perfect balance. So yeah, this time is fine. So these two shapes should match. All these things I can remove with the help of that my this mouse brush very easily. Similarly, left here, select it, convert, position is on, so I can use the same finger or for each finger there is a separate alpha. I can use a separate index, little finger, middle finger, yeah. Middle finger. Right. This part. Why it's doing like this? Not good. is much better. These things I can like clean up.